Hi, my name is Ryan, and in this video we're going to be going over the different ways that you can draw in PrairieLearn to um, draw and grade um, problems. Here's a high-level overview of our documentation. In this video we'll be going over number 20 here, drawing instructions. First, the first way that you can draw in PrairieLearn involves using the PL drawing element in your HTML file that would allow you to display a canvas and display pre-made shapes and objects that PrairieLearn has provided, and then you would be able to grade how those objects are placed onto the canvas. So just looking at the element here, um, you have a drawing, you can set the width and height, and then this initial drawing initial is the um, where you could place shapes that do not need to be graded. They just would be shown initially. And then there's another element that you would put the answer into that would actually be graded, which I will show you in a little bit. So here's a problem that PrairieLearn provides a demo for. So in this problem, there's multiple different types of problems with a little bit of different parameters that you need to fit. And if you say just don't put anything on the canvas and click save and grade, you'll get it wrong. But if you were to, this one wants you to add a vector at B with a at 90 degrees. So if you click the vector button, drag it and rotate it to point straight upwards and place it on the B and then click save and grade again, you would get the answer correct. And then you could just cycle through different questions that might require some of these different shapes. So like there's arcs, you can remove it. You can add multiple different things to what the problem is asking to use. So if we go into the code for this problem, here's the HTML file. So here we have the drawing element that will span this entire set of code. Here's the drawing answer, which is what will actual grade the problem based on what problem it is, which is what this visible variable is doing, is just grabbing which problem it is and then grading what shape needs to be where. And then here initially is what will be shown based on what problem it is. And then this PL controls is what holds all the buttons. So all of these different buttons to place the shapes is this PL controls area here, and then closing the drawing. And then just in the server.py, there is just a bunch of generation of all of the data that can be used or the question. So like this is the text generated for question 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and so on. And then that text is sent over to be able to use in the HTML. So that's the first example of using the drawing tools that PrairieLearn provides to be able to grade problems based on where shapes are placed. And then going on to the next drawing type. In this one, you can use your own JavaScript file to do whatever you would like with, like you would normally would in a web application, but this requires using the deprecated element PrairieLearn figure, where you can just in the script name tag place the name of your JavaScript file, and then make sure you place the width and height to 0, because it makes a canvas, and you don't want to have two different canvases if you already make it here and reference it in your JavaScript file. And as far as our knowledge goes, this is the only way that you are able to make a custom JS file. So we'll just go into a example that uses this type of drawing. You may have seen this problem from a previous video, but this problem asks the student to complete a code function that initializes the ports of the microcontroller based on where, based on the diagram, and each new diagram can produce a different diagram. Looks like the website froze. But if we go into the code, so here's the HTML file. It creates a canvas. And then here's the PrairieLearn figure element. And here in the directory, I have a JavaScript file named microcontroller.js. So place that here, make the width and height 0, so there's not two canvases. In this problem specifically, it asks students to fill out code. So there's a file editor here with the student's code, and then a submission panel for their code. In this server.py, it's just generating the C code and the other parameters to make the diagram. So like here, the py file actually opens the JS file, and depending on the values generated here, it will place variables in the top of the JS file that it can use to then generate the diagram. And then the JS file is just so here's the stuff that's generated from the Python script, but the JS file is just a normal JavaScript file with different functions that eventually end up creating the looks like the website is having issues. If we go just to this one, that eventually end up making this diagram. And that is it for this video.